Hey guys, this is Gaijin Hunter. It's February 9th and a new issue of Famitsu has come out that has 10 pages of exciting Monster Hunter Double Cross information. I wanted to take this opportunity to sort of look over it together. Yes, I did purchase the magazine, and sort of just tell you guys all the cool things that are inside since it's written in Japanese. Without further ado, let's jump right in. So here we see first page is going to be the Deviant I call Monday Morning Diablos. I think it's kind of roughly translated as Massacre Demon or something like that. But anyways, what they're doing here is they're showing off its new special enraged mode. So it's not just it getting upset, this thing is going really hot tempered. So pretty much it becomes faster, more powerful, and the red that you're seeing here is kind of its anger boiled up. And because of the red hot boiling anger, it makes its body really hot. And what they're showing off here on the left, let's see if I can highlight this, is going to be pretty much when it's in this state, the heat from inside of its body is reacting with the moisture on its surface, and it creates kind of like these air blasts. So if you get near it, it's going to blow up, it's going to hit you, it's going to knock you around. So he's going to be very hard to approach when he's in this state. So my advice is probably just get out of the way until he gets out of it. I imagine traps won't work either. So anyways, this monster is really shaping up to be a complete powerhouse. I cannot wait to fight it as a prowler. Okay, let's scroll over here to the other right side of the page, and we have our new flagship, Valfalk, or Barufaruku in Japanese. Who knows what the English name will be. I do hope they announce this game for the West, which they have not yet, so hopefully, fingers crossed. Anyways, as you guys can see, and we've seen gameplay of this awesome monster, is that when it gets excited, it sort of activates its engines. And once its engines are going, you can use it to go into the air, like sort of like a meteor in the sky. So that you see right over here. And you can also do almost like Vulcan shots out of its wings. I know it has kind of the same body structure as Gore Magala, but I gotta admit, this monster looks totally unique. I can't wait to fight it. Anyways, here's just some pictures of that. So without further ado, let's jump over to the next page. Okay, now here's where stuff gets really exciting. They're announcing one new Deviant just for this issue. It doesn't mean that it's the only one. There's going to be more. And also actually three returning monsters. Here on the left, we have a new Deviant for Malfestio, which I cannot wait for, even though I know it's going to be a real pain to hunt. It's kind of called the Hidden Dragon Hororo Horuru. So what the thing is, why it's called hidden, is that it uses this white substance, which you can see here, to cloak itself and make itself go invisible. Very cool. They also nickname it the Shadow Juggler. So it's got a nice new color pattern. It's got some new shock waves that it will send off from its wings. My guess is that it will sap you of your stamina, because this game with the Brave style, everything revolving around stamina, I just can't see how that won't be its effect, but we don't know for sure. It does go invisible, and even worse yet, it will steal items from you. Just like Chameleos, you cannot get them back. So if you have max potions, you're not in for a very good time. Again, this is another monster I think Prowler is going to be really fun against, because you really won't have to worry about the stealing items thing. Anyway, a shout out to Capcom. They really know how to make these renders. Like this is just really cool looking. Okay, zipping over here to the right, we've got two returning monsters. I'm not going to read anything here because we already know these monsters from Monster Hunter previous games. But we have Nursilla, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, who's coming back. And I know a lot of us were disappointed to see this monster missing in Generations, so very excited to see it come back. We'll see if the subspecies comes back. I hope it does. And then we have down here is good old Gravitas. Gravitas is not my favorite monster, but I know a lot of people do like it and its gear. And down here they're saying, and they're not coming out and saying it, but you know how Famitsu does it. Gravitas is definitely coming back with Basarios, so pretty much that's what's saying here. So exciting times there. Again, if you like these monsters and you like the armor, I think you'll be very happy. Okay, let's go to the next page. Okay, now this page is where it gets really exciting. So basically they're adding one hunter art for each of the 14 weapons. So you'll have a total of 4, and depending on your style you can equip anywhere from 1 to 3. So this is going to sort of widen your choices. My guess is that these are kind of like the G rank version ones. So these are all really powerful and look really cool. There's no information here about the cost of each one, just a little information and a preview screenshot. Now mind you, I don't have video of these, so I don't know what they look like, so if I'm a little wrong in my description just based off the text, I apologize. Let's see which each of these are. Okay, here is the Great Sword, and it's getting a new hunter art called the Moonbreak, or Moonbreaker. So this is going to be one where you just sort of twirl your body around and do a really powerful concentrated attack, which is supposedly really good for flinching and breaking parts. Very exciting, and I love the armor on Barufaruku here. It's very cool. Going down here, and gosh, look at that. The Deviant Diablos gear with the nice club. I like it. It's like shaped like its horn. Okay, so this is the sword and shield, and this is going to make a lot of you excited. It's got a new hunter art called the Kaos Oil. So basically you'll apply this oil to your sword and it will give you the effect of all the other 4 oils, being affinity, the part breaker one, the KO exhaust damage, and mind's eye. And what's even more insane is down here it mentions that this effect also does stack with the other oils. Now I don't know how that's going to work for something like mind's eye, like if you stack it what happens, I don't know. Maybe you don't lose sharpness for a short period of time, who knows. But stuff like the affinity boost, you'll get more affinity boost, so this is going to be pretty fun to do. Okay, here we have a nice new render for the Longsword, and the Longsword is getting a new way to deal out a lot of damage. So basically for a short period of time, your attack power will sort of shoot up. And what will happen is your life will slowly start to deplete as a side effect. But if you hit the monster, you'll regain life. So this is interesting. It's a high risk, high reward, so I'm going to guess it lasts for maybe 30 seconds, who knows? But you'll be able to dish out a lot of damage as long as you're aggressive. Okay, here we have the dual blades. Now, I'll be honest, with the dual blades, it's almost impossible to tell what the attack does because basically it's just a very flashy sort of combo attack. And all they're saying here is that it's a move in which you jump forward, sort of spinning at the monster, and you do a lot of damage. I have no idea what it looks like, but I'm sure it's cool. Going down here to Hunting Horn, which, gosh, it almost looks like a blade. This is also going to be another one that we sort of have to see. So basically what it does is it allows you to play songs and encore songs while doing evasions. So it's almost like a special like Adept Evade plus playing a song. Again, I have no idea how this is going to work out, but the idea of being able to play a song and evade at the same time is very sexy indeed. Okay, over here on the right we have a very cool render of the new hammer. This is the Barufaruku hammer. I think this is going to be a popular one against people who play this weapon. And this is called the, what's this? The Impact Pulse. So basically what this does is for a limited period of time when you do an attack, it sort of sends like a shock wave. I imagine this will just give you increased KO and perhaps increased exhaust damage, but we'll have to wait and see. And the one for the insect glaive is specifically not for bugs or your glaive, it's for your kinsect. So what this does is it buffs your kinsect, so it does sort of like a combo move. So when it does like a charged attack, it'll follow up and do some more damage. So it makes your bug really aggressive. So it really will be interesting to see if you can raise a build where your kinsect does the majority of the damage and the glaive itself is just support. I would hope that they have that, so it's going to be interesting to see how powerful this is. Okay, let's go to the next page. Okay, moving on to the other weapons, we have the lance, and this is another one. I'm going to definitely want to make this Deviant Diablos set. It looks really cool. But then again, I don't know if I want to grind it all the way through G rank. So what the lance gets is a healing shield. So for a limited period of time, you will apply a healing potion onto your shield, and anytime you guard an attack, you and any teammate around you will heal some health. This is very going to be interesting for aggressive monsters that like to hit you. Okay, going into the gun lance, we have a special flare. This is one that I think we need to see. So apparently it's a two-stepper. It does an upward huge shot and then follows up with what covers like a wyvern blast. It's called the AA flare. So we'll have to see it, but it just looks like good firepower. The bow one is another one that I think is going to be hard until we get to see it, but it looks like it's an evasive move in which you charge up your shot and then you hit them for a lot of damage. However, you can choose to hold it, charge it, and then hit at your convenience, so it just looks like a very powerful attack that's also evasive. So my guess is it's probably going to be a low hunting art cost and just another great option to do a backdive like move if you're outside of guild style. For light bowgun, this one, I don't know, they really need to make it more powerful probably, but what they do is they call it's the charge shot, and it takes a level 1 normal shot and it lets you charge it almost like a greatsword. You can charge it up to a level 3. Like, that's cool and all, but unless this time it lasts for like a full minute, I don't know. And if it's not more powerful than a normal level 3, then I don't think anybody's really going to use this. Still, it could be nice if you run out of ammo and you need to kill some stuff, and if it is significantly powerful, then I think we'll see some people using it. Okay, moving up here, and this is God, I'm losing my words. I'm just so excited about this. Now, the Switch Axe has always had the problem, especially in the last game, where the sword mode got all the buffs, and the axe mode pretty much got ignored, which really upset me. Well, it looks like they're finally answering our prayers, and this one is called the Tempest Axe. So what this does is, you know how when you have the Switch Axe in the axe mode you move really slow? Well, apparently this will make you run around as if the thing weighs almost nothing. So it's going to be much easier to move around and be aggressive. I'm curious if it increases your attack power. I imagine it might, but it also gets a special new finisher move when you do the axe chop combo finisher. Very cool. The charge blade gets a new one called the Chainsaw Saucer. So basically your shield will spin around like a chainsaw and gather energy, and then it will charge it into your weapon. You can press R afterwards if you want to move it directly into your shield, or you can just use it to charge up your files. Anyways, I think this is going to be really cool to see, and I can't wait to see if it's going to be a fast charge one or if it's going to take a while to charge up. And last but not least is Heavy Bowgun. Now the Heavy Bowgun, I don't know quite how to translate this name, but it's pretty much sort of like a charged super shot. One of the cool things is that they mentioned down here is that it does work in tandem with the shield customization part. So if you have a shield, it'll keep you safe as you charge and you hit with this thing. Anyways, those are the new hunter arts. Unless we see them visually, it's going to be very hard to know what's what, but I am excited by that Kaos Oil for the sword and shield. The healing guard for the lance is going to be nice, especially for solo play. And of course the Switch Axe with a powered up axe is going to be a lot of fun. Let's go to the next page. Okay, the next two pages have to do with prowlers and palicos, which of course makes me very happy because that was my main weapon in Monster Hunter Generations. So basically, the cats are getting a slew of new moves that you can possibly get when you scout a cat. These are, I guess they're called support moves in English, I can't quite remember. Anyways, also when you're going through this, we'll see the new Deviant Armors for each of the flagships, which is pretty cool. So we see this this elephant for Gameth is hilarious. So this is the one that they showed in the trailer for the game, which is sort of like the cat cannon. So you put yourself in the acorn cannon, then you blast off towards the monster. One cool thing is they do mention that a hunter can kick this device to set off and trigger the explosion, which is pretty funny. I think we're going to have some cool flashy kills with hunters kicking their cats out of the cannon. Look at the blue thunder gear for this. Isn't that awesome? So this one is going to be a blasting roll. So as you see here, this is up here right now. Basically you'll jump on top of a bomb and roll around. You can either go straight in and just blom the enemy with it, or you can press a button to kick it, sort of like a projectile at the enemy, and then do an explosion. So this is going to be really fun. I think the idea that you don't just have to ram the monster, but you can kick it into it, that's going to be a lot of fun. The next one is another version of the ball. So look at that. Ah, so cool. So this one you're going to be running on top of a spiked ball. You can ram into the monster or you can kick it, and what this thing does, besides just doing a lot of damage, will also do KO if you hit them in the face. So here we see, I believe that's the Deadeye, or it just might be a Garuga, getting its butt KO'd by a spiked ball from a cat. What other game franchise could you say that? Okay, going down here we have another one. Now this is, I think, going to be the speed run skill to have, because this is just amazing. So basically you see how you have two acorns? You can sacrifice one of them permanently to give yourself max heal, so you go all the way up to max health. It also increases the gauge and it heals you, and it takes your bar for your skills and maxes it out. So max health and heal plus max support gauge just for an acorn. Oh good gosh, sign me up. This is going to make cats even more viable, especially for those missions where you're going around gathering. The cats are finally getting a Farcaster ability. So use this and it'll warp you all the way back to camp. Again, this is something that I really wish they had in the last game, so super excited to see it being added now. Okay, let's go over here to the final page. In here, they're just showing off a bunch of other ones. So we have the SP horn. So basically, it's just a horn that you blow and it puts everybody in SP mode. Let's see here. We have the wide range horn. So apparently, if you blow this horn, it gives all the hunters in the area wide range. So I guess if you sort of pop a potion, it'll heal everybody. This would be really good for online rooms, I think. Then, of course, this is just for the Beast Prowler. It's the 2 moves that send you into Beast mode and 1 that takes you out of it. We have the kind of walking vase of vitality. So pretty much you put on a healing oasis onto your head, and you're pretty much a walking hunting oasis, which is hilarious. So you'll heal anybody who's near you. This one is the power scream. So basically the cat will let out a huge scream that will power up all your allies. Now, I don't know exactly what it's going to do. It just says powering up stuff like attack, etc. So we'll have to wait and see what this does. Also, it says that it also gives you negate KO, so you don't get KO'd. I don't know if there's any monsters that will knock you out so much, but if there are, this will definitely be a good skill to bring with you. Then finally we have, you remember that Feline Rocket where you kind of just jump forward with your sword and you hit the monster? Well, this is a version that you can do from under the ground. So if you're hiding out under the ground, you can activate this and you'll come straight out of the ground like and you'll hit the monster. So this is going to be fun for flashy kills as well. I want to see some dunks where cats come out of the ground and knock monsters out of the air. That's going to be sweet. And look at the armor for Barufaruku. Looking cool, isn't it? Very nice. And this is a game changer. So down here, if you remember in Monster Hunter Generations, when you scout a cat, it's random on what skills it might come with. Well, now they're changing that. You can go to the dojo, select the skill that you don't want, pay 500 points, and it will do sort of like a roulette. And it will allow you to get a different skill. So now you're going to be able to fine-tune and pretty much create the cat of your dreams. So I'm sure it's still going to follow the rules about, like, you know, a very expensive one can only be changed out with other expensive ones. But this means that we don't have to waste hundreds of hours trying to scout the perfect cat. We can just make it. So very excited about this. I think this is going to solve a lot of our woes and make the cats even more OP, not like they needed it. Anyway, they do mention down here that the next issue in which they'll have an interview and probably some more news, they don't really say news, but they just say interview, but I'm sure there'll be something, will be on February 16th. I believe that's next week. So if there's anything substantial, I'll do a video. If not, you can follow me on Twitter. And I also just opened up a Gaijin Hunter Discord, so please check that out and join. A lot of like-minded hunters there talking about all sorts of games. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the preview of this Famitsu, and until next time, happy hunting.